We are live here at St. Augustine High School, Richland, New Jersey, and the crowd that you see right there, the name says it all. The Richland Rowdies, they are here to entertain us as they always do. Fred Melendez along with Dave Catalani here on Facebook Live SNJ Today, on YouTube SNJ Today. We are having one of those great contests that come along every once in a while, and it seems appropriate. We have the snow outside. We have a great matchup here. It's like this is a Super Bowl appetizer right now.
A Super Bowl appetizer, and this JV game has given us a great appetizer right now, too, because this game is now into overtime, and two really good programs here, two really good JV teams going at it head-to-head.
And St. Augustine with a 2-point lead in this JV game, the shooter at the free throw line. So they are going to go for a chance to pull ahead by 4. So, Dave, if this game is any indication of what we're about to see, we're in for a special night.
I think we're in for a special night almost whenever it's Atlantic City and St. Augustine get together. As you said, the Rowdies are out in force. It's a great crowd in here. Some people were worried a little bit about the weather. So if you worried about the weather and you stayed home, and hopefully we'll bring you a good one here tonight.
Yeah, sit back, get the popcorn already, as the phrase goes. Get a nice little sandwich and a soda, whatever you need to get you through a good basketball game. We've got that for you coming up. And, of course, we have Captain America. I saw Captain America across the way. Lots of colorful outfits there saluting America. Meanwhile, the action's still going on here, but tonight's game featuring a bit of a revenge game a little bit for St. Augustine. They lost a tough one in December early on in the season by 9 points at Atlantic City, 64-55. But as you said, these two teams, when they match up, anything's possible. Both teams play for the entire 32 minutes, so we should see that kind of game tonight.
Well, the first thing that you know is that game in December was the first Cape Atlantic League loss that St. Augustine has had. I think the record, I think it was 58 consecutive wins in the Cape Atlantic League. They have since also lost to Wildwood Catholic. The 2 losses for St. Augustine to just those 2 teams. And Atlantic City is riding high right now. They're playing really well. Coach Rodeo, I talked to him before the game. He saw them against Trenton Catholic, a really good Trenton Catholic team. They won 85-82. And he said it's the best Atlantic City team he's seen in all his years of coaching, and we know that's a long time.
Of course, the lineup says it all. We have Nasir Morgan, Ramon Rodriguez, Nazim Derry, Ray Bethea Jr., he's been around for a few years as well, and Zion Teague. Those are the starting 5 that will be announced in a little bit, but those 5 are very formidable athletes for Atlantic City.
Yeah, and also a difference maker. Akins was playing for Atlantic City earlier in the year. He has since transferred to a prep school. He's already committed to college, but he wanted a year of prep school, so he started it early, and he's already gone there, and he hurt St. Augustine in the first game, so we'll see if not having him tonight makes a difference.
Tonight's game being brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. We are always pleased to have them with us, helping us bring you these great contests here. St. Augustine basketball, now a steal the other way, and it looks like Atlantic City has a chance to go up by 3 in the JV game with 10 seconds to go. And the AC side is jumping, to say the least. Timeout here. There is a chance for St. Augustine to force a second overtime. Would that be special?
Well, you get that feel of a varsity game here for these young guys. They get a chance to play in front of the big crowd. Great opponent. Big steal there by Atlantic City to take the 3-point lead. And let's see what St. Augustine can draw up here.
Now, see, this brings me
Kyle
back to
Serrana, his first year on the St. Augustine bench after several years at Vineland High. Did a great job at their JV program. He takes over here at St. Augustine right into the fire. They're undefeated up to this point. So let's see if they can keep that going here.
This is reminiscent of my very first broadcast of St. Augustine Hermits basketball. It was a New Year's early in January. And the Richland Rowdies helped the squad win it. It was a last-second buzzer beater that got the victory. So a buzzer beater right here would at least tie the game, because you have to figure they're going to go for 3 somewhere along the line.
It's a little pregame for us too. You get to get warmed up, get to call. Want to call this last one, Fred?
Well,
you might not be able to do it with names.
Yeah, I don't have the names here exactly, but we'll just do numbers. Numbers are always good. There are 4.7 seconds left on the clock. It's 60-57. The JV squad from Atlantic City leading. Number 35 along the right side. Dishes to the post. They need a three-point shot. The ball is taken away by Atlantic City, and they celebrate a victory and a dramatic overtime win. So let them rejoice. This is what high school basketball is all about, a good competitive game that goes right down to the wire, even into overtime.
Yeah, that's a nice win. Looked like the play was set up, had a player in the corner there, but looks like the St. Augustine player lost the ball going to the basket, but play was drawn up. Looked like it was there.
So again, we got the appetizer for the night here as the Atlantic City Viking JVs defeat the JVs from St. Augustine 60-57. Just a warm-up to what's coming up, of course. And I like the fact, I really feel like this is a Super Bowl atmosphere. I love the atmosphere here, and I know you fans watching at home have to enjoy it. Anytime the crowd gets into it, we have ESPN Radio here announcing the game as well. And yours truly, Fred Melendez and Dave Catalana for SNJ Today, Facebook Live, and YouTube as well for SNJ Today. Ryan Schumacher back producing this thing, and of course our great staff of Charles Hope on camera and Joe Coughlin with the graphics. We want you to stick around and enjoy a very, very tight ball game. If it's anything like the first go around, the only thing that will be different in St. Augustine's eyes would they'd like to reverse the final score a little bit and get on the winning side. Coming into this, St. Augustine overall is 13-2, and the Atlantic City, as we mentioned, already having a fine season at 12-1. All right, we're going to take a pause here as the Hermits now streak across the backside there. The Rowdies give them a nice round of applause. Of course, we always have the words of our coach, Paul Radio, describe what the action ahead is going to be like. So with our very own Dave Catalana and Coach Radio, we present to you the Coach's Corner.
And here we are in our Coach's Corner. Dave Catalana along with St. Augustine head coach Paul Rodeo, now the second winningest coach in New Jersey State basketball history. Coach Rodeo, congratulations on 901, passing Jerry Malloy on the list for 901. You now only behind Bob Hurley, who was at 1185. The important thing I think about that, and I know you've talked about this before, is that they were all those wins came here at St. Augustine. 41 years, 901 wins. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, it's a tribute to the so many things, as I've said, and I'm not trying to just be modest, but the school has always been behind me. And when you have an institution that's, I'm not saying allowing you to do it, but backing you up and giving you the support that you need year in and year out. I have had a coaching staff that's second to none. I've always said that I've been able to have guys that probably are varsity coaches at other places coaching with me. I've had great players, some of the best players South Jersey has ever seen, a great student body, a great situation, a great family who has backed me up and allowed me to do the things. So it makes it all a little bit easier, and I just kind of rolled along for the punch.
Well, we talk about it a lot, and I have people ask me all the time about, how much longer do you keep doing this? I think 1185 might be out of reach to go all the way to Hurley, but, 1,000's not out of the question. It's only 4 more years, really, the way you rack up the wins.
No, yeah, I don't think of it in that terms. All I know is that 902 would be one I would remember for a long time.
Well, 902 is an important one because, every game has its own importance. But this one is a little bit different because not only does it mean something, again, with the rivalry with Atlantic City, but this game is number 16 on the year for you, which is the cutoff for the state tournament. And you understand probably better than anyone how it works with PowerPoints and all. So what would a possible win do for you here in the non-public
Well, a win tonight would guarantee us the number 1 seed. A loss tonight would put us in the middle of a lot of different combinations. We could be 1, we could be 2, we could drop as low as 3. It's very possible that happens. So a win is important for us if you're looking at state playoffs. But like you said, it's a rivalry. This is a street yard game we don't want to lose. The kids know each other really well. We play a lot. I have a lot of respect for Gene and what he's done. We just want to win. Put all that stuff aside. This is one that maybe reestablishes us back in the league and puts us in a situation where people talk about us in that top 2 now instead of the 3rd seed anymore.
Well, that's the other thing that's important about this game. You know, we have the Cape Atlantic playoffs come up. Top 8 teams are going to make that. I know in Mike McGarry's latest sort of look at that, they had you at 3, which makes sense. The 2 games that you did lose were the 2 teams that are in front of you. But, you know, could this kind of a game get you back into that 1-2 if you could get a win?
That's what we're saying. We're hoping it does. So we're hoping tonight we establish ourselves, win this type of game, help us in the non-public, help us in our league, and establish us on the way into February for what has to happen in March.
Well, and the last thing about this game when it comes to that is this doesn't happen all that often where you're playing a team that beat you during the year. I mean, obviously, when they beat you the first time, it had been 58 games, I think, in the Cape that you had lost. So the chance that you get to come up against a team that beat you earlier doesn't happen that often. You know, you're one of the best motivators that I've ever been around. This is a chance for you to motivate the guys for a revenge game. How does that go?
Well, they played him in the summer, and we beat them one day in the summer. We did not have Marlin. They did not have Bethea. But we beat them in here. They felt we had them on the ropes for a little bit in December. They had a little bit more. They were home. And they also had the kid who transferred who hurt us that night. Put all that together, they now have another young man from Vineland who's eligible, who they didn't have last time, gives them some size. Put everything together. This one's going to come down to, I think, I don't want to say who wants it more, who's better prepared, who wants it more, who believes that they're supposed to win. This is us needing to put a big step forward.
Well, it's one of those games when you had down there the second half, they really did hurt you on the boards. And as you said, now they have another big player. So the boards are going to be a big key. Charles Solomon's going to have a lot of work to do on the board. Really, all of your guys are going to have to do that. Handling Atlantic City's pressure is always key as well.
That's the key. I mean, and what I said to our kids, and what we emphasized the last couple days in practice, when you play Atlantic City, it's not just the pressure and turning it over against the press. It's beating the pressure and what you do down the other end. If you just beat the pressure and throw it at the basket and don't get the shot that you want, they force you into the wrong shot. That's as good as a steal down the other end.
Well, one of the other things that we think might be a key tonight is the play of your top player, Marlon Hargis. He had a great game against Millville where you guys were struggling a little bit, and I think he just decided it was time for him to take over. Had a career high in 31 points. How's he playing right now?
He's playing very well, and I don't know if anybody on my staff or if anyone reminded him, but he had 25 last year in here against Atlantic City, so I hope someone reminded him of that.
I'm guessing someone may have brought
did bring that to his attention.
And I know Marlon looks at this game. He knows, like you said, knows all the players on the other team, is going to look at it as a chance for some redemption. Back at home, should have a big crowd here tonight.
No question. No question.
Well, we should have a good one here. Before we let Coach go, the last time we had a broadcast, we talked about the Eagles against the Vikings. And, Coach, I have to say, you were closer than most. You had predicted, I think, 31-17.
I did.
You got the one part right on the Eagles side. So let's look at it this way. The next time we'll have a broadcast will be after the Super Bowl. What's your prediction for the Eagles on Sunday?
Eagles 28-21. That's your final.
28-21. You heard it here first from the coach. And from Coach's Corner, this is Dave Catalana. Let's send it back to my partner, Fred Melendez, courtside.
Of course, Coach Rodeo caught up in the Super Bowl frenzy as well, making the prediction that everybody across the Delaware Valley liked, picking the Eagles to beat the Patriots. And, boy, I'll tell you what, Philadelphia and this area is so ready to celebrate a Super Bowl championship. So Paul Rodeo on board with that.
He's on board. I saw his sister and brother-in-law. They're going out to the game. They leave Thursday. His brother Johnny's going out. His brother Tiger's going out. Paul's sticking around, though. He's going to watch it from his couch and hopefully watch a win.
Tonight's game being brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. They have supported us for a long time. We appreciate their support in bringing you these basketball games. Toyota of Vineland bringing you St. Augustine Hermits basketball. They also bring us our keys to the game, and boy, there's probably about 3 or 4. Here are the top 3 that we see.
Well, the first thing for St. Augustine is they have to be able to battle on the boards. The first game between these two teams, Atlantic City really hurt St. Augustine on second chance points off the offensive glass. The second thing against Atlantic City is you always have to handle the pressure. And Coach Rodeo mentioned that in our pregame talk, but Jordan Kendrick is going to be the key for St. Augustine, handling the press, getting it up floor, and then making smart decisions. And then the last one, it's a big game, and big-time players have to come to play in these big games. Marlon Hargis has to have a big game for St. Augustine. He did against Millville. He had 31, a career high. Last year against Atlantic City, he had 25. He knows these players well. He loves to compete against Atlantic City, and it's time for him as a senior leader to put his mark on a big-time win.
Well, we've seen that year in and year out where the star player comes up big in these kind of games, whether you want to talk about Isaiah Morton or anybody else that has stepped through the corridors here at St. Augustine. Marlon Hargis has given us big moments this year. This is about as big a stage as he's going to see heading into the state tournament anyway. So this is the night for him to start.
And I spoke to one of the assistant coaches after the Millville game about practice, and he said they've been talking to Marlon, and Marlon knows he's such a quiet kid, but he knows when it's time that he has to take over. And if they're going to make this run, they have all these showcase games the next 3 weeks. This is a league game, but it's really a showcase. The number 1 or 2 team in South Jersey, whatever you want to call Atlantic City, and St. Augustine, which is 4 or 5, whichever poll you look at. So he knows for them to have a signature win, it's going to start in his home floor against a big-time team like Atlantic City.
And, of course, I think we're going to see another man that I do want to mention, Charlie Solomon, talking about the rebound game. He's going to also have to step up alongside of Hargis.
Well, we're going to keep an eye on Charles Solomon. I talked again to the coaches. He's a little under the weather. He took a recruiting trip, came back not feeling great. I'm watching him go through the motions right now. Looking okay, but you never know if fatigue's going to catch up with that. And if he has to limit his minutes, then you're looking to go to a freshman like Matt Delaney, which will be a tall task against this senior-laden Atlantic City team.
And of course, Coach Rodeo often uses a lot of his bench anyway, so we're probably going to see rotations throughout the game, especially if Charles Solomon shows that sign of fatigue.
Well, exactly, and the first thing that we're going to see tonight is a different fifth starter. Kevin Foreman, a sophomore guard, played well in a couple of the games in the last stretch here. Scrappy, tough player, defensive-minded. He's going to get the start tonight as really that fifth starter instead of, they've been using Nakem Oda, they've been using Cole Vanderslice, but you're going to see all those guys. It's going to need a deep bench.
Both teams coming in with very spectacular records. Combined, they are 25-3. I mean, you don't get much better combined records than those two teams have. Again, Atlantic City 12-1 on the season. St. Augustine is 13-2, and Will Morris, our statistician extraordinaire here at St. Augustine, informed me that we are going to have a bit of a ceremony before this game because Coach Rodeo reached another big milestone in his career very recently, 900 wins. So there will be a little brief ceremony at the beginning of this game before the starting lineups.
And realistically, I mean, the last thing that Coach Rodeo wants to do is have a pregame ceremony. He is, when it comes to big games, he's nervous like the rest of us. 41 years in, and I know him. As soon as I walked in the gym, he said, let's go do the pregame, because he's nervous. He's very, very good friends with Gene Allen on the other side, but very good friends. You know, sometimes you really like to beat that friend or that brother or whatever it is that's on the other side. And I know Coach really wants this one. We talked about it in the coach's corner. Very few times does St. Augustine come in as an underdog. And I don't know if they're an underdog here at home, but very few times do they get a chance to get revenge on a team that beat them earlier in the year. And he's one of the best motivators I've ever been around. And I'm sure in that locker room, he was telling these guys, this is time for us to get a little revenge back on our home floor.
Of course, at this time of the season, as we turn the page into February, you want to be playing your best basketball because the bigger games are coming up. So what better time to do that than against a top team in the Cape Atlantic League? Atlantic City, of course, one of those top teams.
As I said, Atlantic City is playing their best basketball right now, really feeling their own. They have a new addition to the team, Zion Teague, a big 6'8" junior, is eligible now. He transferred from Vineland. Another big man for him to be out on the floor against St. Augustine. Didn't play in the first game, but he's starting to play, and he's going to be starting tonight for Atlantic City.
Once again, our game tonight being brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. Always a pleasure to have them on board. And a little internal business that we need to take care of tonight. We understand that our sports director at SNJ today, Mike Frankel, is celebrating a birthday. So we need to get on him a little bit about that. He's turning another year older.
Mike Frankel going to call in the game for ESPN 97.3 tonight. We see him across the way. Wish him a very happy birthday. He's over there on press row.
And you get to see him every night, of course, on S&J when they do the news at 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Always very informative on our local sports scene. A lot of high school mentions as well as any pro stuff. And he does a great job in circulating across the South Jersey area to give you the news on some of these, whether it's football season, basketball season, baseball season. That man right there is one of the busiest guys in sports in the South Jersey area. Happy birthday, Mike Frankel. You got it. All right, the buzzer has gone here at St. Augustine High School. The two teams on the floor just about set to introduce us, the starting lineups. And, of course, we mentioned a quick ceremony as well. Our referees tonight include Steve Young. We've seen him do many a game, of course, and Frank Basile and Dan Bradley are the other two officials.
Yep, three of the best in South Jersey, refereeing two of the best teams.
Will Morris is going to carry us through the induction, so we're going to turn over the microphone to him. starting lineup, so let's see what Atlantic City brings to the floor, and then St. Augustine. So there you have it, the starting lineup for both squads on the Atlantic City side. Number 1, Nazir Morgan. Number 2 is Ramon Rodriguez. Number 3, Nazim Derry. Number 4, Ray Bethea Jr. And number 15, Zion Teague, the starting 5 for Atlantic City. For the Hermits tonight, they are starting number 3, Jordan Kendrick. Number 34, Kevin Foreman. Number 20, Marlon Hargis. Number 24, Travis Stoll. And number 25, Charles Solomon.
Interesting to see that both teams are going to look for the up and down game. I know the way St. Augustine is kind of going to approach this next group. They said it in the Martin Luther King game. They are going to attack. They're going to press. That's their style. That's the way they're going to play. Atlantic City loves that style. It's just see who can come out and force their will on the other team.
Who can master the run and gun the best. That'll be the early start.
Makes for the most exciting games as far as I'm concerned.
I just hope I can keep up with the track meet. So the 10 players that start the game are now on the floor. Referee Steve Young just about set to toss the ball up into the air and start this one. Another classic event here on SNJ Today. Facebook Live and YouTube, brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. Fred Melendez, Dave Catalano, let's go. The opening tap is won by the Hermits. Tracking it down is Jordan Kendrick. We are underway. Pass along the right side. Foreman goes inside quickly. There's Hargis.
Yeah, right away, they're going to go to their money guy, Marlon Hargis. They get him inside against Bethea, 2-0 St. Augustine.
So the first possession now for Atlantic City. They go right to the post, looking to turn around. Muscles his way in and gets it. The drop, that Zion Teague with the muscle move.
Well, let's see now right away. Atlantic City goes to their new fella, Zion Teague, the big fella inside, draws the contact, gets the bucket and the foul.
And that foul is on Hargis. He's the last guy you want to see getting any early foul trouble. 3-point play opportunity, and Teague is good.
And here's the pressure right away, Kendrick to handle.
Kendrick gets away momentarily. Nice behind the back dribble to get across the timeline. Hargis with the basketball, looking to drive across the paint, pulls it out. They swing it to the left side. Hargis filing Kendrick. Marlon Hargis, away from his customary post position, gives it off to Kendrick. Jordan looking to drive through. The ball is tipped out. Oh, it's actually lost by St. Augustine. Last thing you want to do is turn the ball over too many times tonight.
Yeah, you see the penetration there, and as the ball was trying to kick back out of bounds off St. Augustine. A little floor, a little slippery on that side. People coming in with the snow, the salt on their feet. Hopefully that won't be an issue.
Quickly coming into the paint. Derry, no. Rebounded by Foreman. Ball is tipped out of bounds by Atlantic City. It remains Hermit basketball.
A little different speed for a kid like Kevin Foreman, a sophomore, getting the first start here. Hopefully settle his nerves down.
Well, it's tough to lower the adrenaline once it's going as fast as it's going right now. We'll see how the Hermits handle this possession as Kendrick has the basketball along the left side. Down low pass. Hargis back out for an open look. And it's a three-point swisheroo.
Well, that's going to calm your nerves a little. Kevin Foreman, not really a jump shooter, but he took that with confidence, went straight up, knocked it down. Big shot.
5-3. St. Augustine, a steal. Stoll in for the basket.
Travis Stoll finding the loose change on the floor as Foreman turned Bethea.
Ball is kicked around, and it's going to go St. Augustine's way.
I think Paul Rodeo was begging for the call here. Let's see who it went off, and it looks like it did go off of Zion Teague there and out of bounds. St. Augustine possession.
7-3 to score. 2 minutes into the game.
There's a foul on Deary. Now, sometimes what Coach Rodeo will like to do, if they're going to put that much pressure on his point guard, he'll let someone else come up and handle. Maybe whoever it is that one of the bigger players is covering, just to get the pressure off of the point guard. But right now, he's getting in Jordan Kendrick's hands and telling him to handle.
7-3. Hermits with the advantage and the basketball. Just over 2 minutes into the game. Kendrick swings it to Stoll, gets a return feed, thinks about a three, drives through, dishing to the low post. Solomon is going to be called for a charge.
That's a good call, I think, on the block. If Solomon could have gone up as soon as he caught it, instead of he sort of gathers himself there, that's an offensive foul. No question about it. Danny Bradley right on the call.
So the foul gives the ball to the Vikings of Atlantic City.
2-2-1 pressure for the Hermits, switching it up.
Derry gets it across the timeline. Still has the dribble. All the way back out to Rodriguez, loses the basketball.
Just took his eye off it. No reason to go for a one-handed catch there. Grab the ball, keep the flow of the game going. You watch here in the pass, a little high, but that's catchable.
Herbert's with the basketball. Kendrick across the timeline as the offense gets into its flow. Travis Stoll had Hargis cutting, now goes back outside. They send it across to Kendrick. Kendrick tees up the three off the rim. Battle for the rebounds won by Solomon. Hargis tees up a long-range three and hits it.
And Marlon now inside and outside now. Marlon Hargis feeling it a little bit early for St. Augustine.
10-3. Hermits with the advantage, and now an offensive foul against Atlantic City.
Yep, back come the Vikings the other way. Ray Bethea Jr. and right into the chest. Does Charles Solomon take that charge?
10-3 the score. Timeout being taken by Atlantic City, and I guess they just want to collect a few things as they... Timeout, of course, taken by Toyota of Vineland. Glad to have them as our sponsor. They have helped us bring you this season's of Dorothy basketball, and a place that you want to check out. For any vehicle that you want to check out, stop by Toyota of Vineland.
Well, great action back and forth. What we expected, the two offensive fouls, that's where guys are going to play defense. They're going to get after it a little smart, heady play on both sides, getting the charge there. That time Charles Solomon took it. You know, you just get a feeling with Marlon Hargis. St. Augustine went to him first possession, feeling it a little bit. Big-time player. He's got to come up big today for St. Augustine.
An 8-point run right now for the Hermits. A chance to make it 10 or 11 here.
Full court man pressure here. They can get it to the middle of the floor on the cut. They should be able to beat it.
Marlon Hargis brings it into the front court. Solomon setting a screen. Hargis looking for somewhere to go.
Good job by Bethea.
Hargis feeling the three off the back rim. Good rebound by Solomon. Spin move. Goes up.
Foul.
Bit of a mugging going on. No call. Ball on the floor. Taken by Kendrick.
Nice job there by Kevin Foreman getting on the floor. It's one of the things Coach Rodeo likes about him. Scrappy. Going to get his hand on a loose ball.
Hargis with a turnaround shot off the back rim. Rebounded by number 4. That's Ray Bethea.
That's a good shot. Didn't drop it. That's a good, strong shot.
Bethea tees up the three. Off the rim. High rebound. It's taken by Kendrick. Hermit's back to the attack. Kendrick looking to go all the way out. Gives it back to Hargis, who has an open look. Decides to drive. Shoots it off the glass. Won't go. And reaching over the back is Solomon. And that's 2 quick ones on Charles Solomon.
It's going to be 2. And quickly they're going to go to Matt Delaney. Again, didn't go here. You see Hargis, a tough shot, good defense by Bethea, but I love the aggressiveness of Marlon Hargis. That's what St. Augustine's going to need to win this game. Big minutes now for Matt Delaney.
Halfway through period 1, 10-3. Hermits with the advantage. Matt Delaney in the game now for Solomon as Atlantic City has the dribble. Along the left side, it's Ramon Rodriguez. Swings it out to Nazim Derry. Passed into the key, looking to turn around. Shot is off the rim as Teague went up for it. Doesn't get it, but he draws the foul.
Yeah, quick move there by Zion Teague inside. Got Matt Delaney sliding a little bit, and the foul coming over the top. Just like any of the young players, you got to get out there, get your feet wet, so kind of get up to the speed of the game. Delaney played all right down in Atlantic City in the limited minutes. He rebounded the ball, used his body well. He needs to do the same thing here if Solomon in foul trouble. Here we are going to the bench. We said Oda started some games, as did Vanderslice. They're both in the game now.
Teague makes the second. He's 1 for 2 on this trip. The score is now 10-4, still in favor of St. Augustine.
Oda can handle it here. He needs to maybe handle this pressure against Flash Morgan.
Marlon Hargis watched by Ray Bethea Jr. Kendrick gets it back to Hargis. Oda cutting to the basket. Now Vanderslice with it. Good pass to Delaney. Has the shot blocked. Gets it back. Blocked again. 2 blocks.
He got fouled on that second one. First one was clean, but he got hacked on the second one.
Open 3. Nicely swished by Nazim Derry. 10-7 now. Atlantic City back within 3.
Rodeo going back to the same place, going to spread the floor. He got the ball where he wanted last time. Didn't work out, but still in the same set. Going to try to catch his cutters getting through.
Atlantic City with the last 4 points of the game after giving up 8 in a row. We're going to see a series of runs throughout this game, the way both teams can score. Hargis with a good move, but doesn't go. Rebound cleared by Derry, and back come the Vikings. Looking to shoot it up off the glass, no good. The battle for the rebound is won by Morgan. A 3-pointer off the front rim. There's Morgan, doesn't go. He flashed across there, did not get it, but out of bounds off Oda's hands, and Atlantic City gets it back.
Okay, a little bit of the Hermits inexperience there, but the rebounding, you've got to hit the glass against Atlantic City. Too many chances. Hermits are lucky that the Vikings didn't convert there.
Vikings with possession, 2:11 left in this opening quarter. A 10-7 game for St. Augustine.
Coach Rowe to go back to Travis Stoll. He's a senior, tough kid. He needs him on the glass now.
Ray Bethea sends it across to Nazim Derry. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Nakem Oda watching Derry's actions. Good pass to the post. Doesn't go, but he's going to go to the line. A great feed to the post on that play.
Yeah, nice pass inside to Montague. Yeah, it's a nice, really looking good inside. And once again, Delaney getting caught behind the play. A little picks up. That's 2 on him now. So both of the Hermits' big men with 2 fouls.
And 5 team fouls, more importantly, on the Hermits. Chance to get within 1 here as he made the first one. Montague will make it a 2-for-2 trip, and put Atlantic City within 1. 10-9 the score now with 1:51 left in the opening period. Oda with the basketball. No, Chris Allen, number 11. Yep. Nice pass to the post. Hargis draws the foul. Unfortunately, didn't get the roll on the rim, but he's going to go to the line.
Great set play there. Nice screen by Delaney. He catches inside coming Hargis, and little foul by Zion Teague. It's going to be the first on Teague.
Hargis nails the first one.
And as I said, Hargis is being aggressive. You'll like that. A couple of them didn't go in for him. Get a chance to sit back, make a couple of foul shots, get your head back in it a little bit, but he has to stay aggressive. That's the way St. Augustine is going to win, is through Marlin.
So Hargis now with 7 points on the night after that 2-for-2 effort at the free throw line. 12-9 the score. Ball is lost out of bounds by the Vikings.
Now that's, again, St. Augustine's not going to be upset with that. It's a tough play for Teague to make there. That long pass to him. You see his back to the ball and trying to catch it and stay in bounds. So break for the Hermits with 1:30 here.
Chris Allen brings it into the front court as the Hermits rotate on offense. They give it back to Stoll. Driving through, Vanderslice. Nice dish for Hargis. If it goes, it's 3. It skims off the rim, and Bethea clears the board.
Good
Ray
find
Bethea
from Vanderslice. It didn't go. And once again, a long pass.
I think if I'm Gene Allen, I say, let's not go for the home run ball. You've lost it twice now.
Hermits dodging a couple bullets the last 2 times.
Just over a minute left in the opening quarter. 12-9. St. Augustine with the advantage. Oda dribbles across the top of the key, hands off to Hargis. Vanderslice tees up the 3 and hits it.
Cole Vanderslice, he's the 3-point shooter on this team. There's a loose ball, he comes up with it.
Passes it back out. Oda thought about a 3, but now pulls it back.
Sloppy here for Atlantic City in this last 2 minutes here. Hermit's got to take advantage.
Well, they've gotten out to a 6-point lead and have a chance to make it more here with what may be the final possession of the quarter. 25 seconds and counting, and the ball pulled out by Chris Allen.
Chris Allen's got Montague on him. They're not going to come out. They're going to let St. Augustine hold for the last. Coach Rodeo wants Marlon Hargis to have the ball in his hand for this last shot of the quarter.
The final, good strip there by Morgan. Looks to take it the distance. Has the ball stripped nicely by, I believe that was Stoll who stripped it.
Well, it was either Stoll or Oda that comes from the weak side coming across. You watch the steal here by Morgan. Not a good enough screen there by Stoll. Didn't even make contact. You have to make contact on that.
3-pointer, a little short, rebound underneath. A clutch rebound by Zaire Montague for the last basket of the quarter.
And that's a killer right there. That's a killer, especially with Atlantic City going to get the ball again to start this second quarter.
So we are done with one, and as expected, we have a nail-biter. After 1 quarter play, it's 15-11. Tonight's game being brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. Dave Catalano, that first quarter going mostly St. Augustine's way. A couple of key turnovers by Atlantic City, or this game might be closer yet.
Well, you would think that some of the pressure that St. Augustine is putting on is not really what's causing the turnovers. 2 or 3 turnovers by Atlantic City that were almost unforced. A couple long passes by Bethea that didn't connect. St. Augustine likes the pace. Atlantic City likes the pace, but I'm sure Gene Allen does not like the carelessness of which the way that the Atlantic City is playing right now.
I'm sure he is stressing the fact that you have to take care of the basketball in a game like this when 2 teams are as good as these 2 teams are. You cannot commit turnovers.
8 turnovers in the first quarter for Atlantic City, 4 for St. Augustine. So they've got to clean that part of the game up. And I keep going back to Marlon Hargis. He's being aggressive. It's what St. Augustine needs right now. He's got to start to turn some of those and convert some of those plays so far. 2 for 7 from the floor is Marlon, but he's the guy they're going to run the offense through.
So the Vikings have possession to start the second quarter, trailing by 4.
Starting lineup back on the floor for St. Augustine. and looks like all 5 starters also in the game for the Vikings.
Let's see if the Vikings can further their momentum after that last second shot. And now good defensive play by Stoll. The ball is taken away. And back come the Hermits quickly. Stoll looking to go the distance. The reverse layup is good.
Well, that's huge for Travis Stoll. Number one, he makes the play on the defensive end. But I've been watching Travis all year long. He's had so many of these that just haven't fallen. And this one, like acrobatic, up over the head, and he gets it to go. And the foul is on Zion Teague.
The basket is served, so to speak. And Stoll looking to complete a 3-point play.
Travis Stoll he's been one of those guys for St. Augustine that makes so many things happen, but one of the things he hasn't been getting is the scoring part of his game.
Well, how clutch is that? Atlantic City had a chance to cut it within 2. Instead, the lead is now 7. So Travis Stoll very instrumental in building up that 7-point advantage. Another long pass, another turnover. Atlantic City now at least 3 times has tried the home run ball and has not connected. Short on the shot was Hargis, and the rebound's cleared by Bethea. Quickly up court, and we're going to get a charge.
Kevin Foreman, he had that lined up from the foul line. If you see him here, he knows he's not going up for a block shot. Look at him, he gets himself in a perfect position, protects himself with his arms, and takes the offensive foul. That's why Coach Rodeo likes him out on the floor. He can do things like that.
Wow, what a heady play. Those are the little things that win you games, Dave. Those little plays right there. So St. Augustine looking to add to a 7-point advantage early on here in the second quarter. Stoll had a man cutting to the post. Now gives it across. Open shot, and it sneaks in for 3.
Great setup again by the Hermits. Foreman finds a wide open Marlon Hargis. He misses the puppy and makes the 3.
I'm sure he doesn't mind that. It's now a 10-point advantage, 21-11. A 3 the other way, off the rim short, rebounded deep in the corner. Atlantic City finds a way to get the ball back, driving it in and out, and then runner charge.
That one I was watching the thing. I didn't know if Solomon could get there in time. We'll see it on the replay here where we have the advantage of, let's see. Boy, I don't know. He's got a long way to go there.
Oh, and his feet are up too.
Yeah, I think that's a tough call. I think that one should have gone the other way. But I'm not complaining.
No. Stoll dishes it out. A 3-point look by Kendrick off the rim. And the rebound taken by Teague. A collision there, and that'll be a foul against the previous shooter, Jordan Kendrick.
I think Kendrick was almost too wide open for that. He's a much, much better shooter than that. And you see him run right into Zaire Montague.
The lead is still 10. 21-11 St. Augustine. Tonight's game brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. Glad that you're with us, enjoying it here on Facebook Live, SNJ Today, and those of you watching on YouTube.
St. Augustine just a little token pressure and then falling back in.
Sneaking inside the arc and making the shot is number 1. That's Nazir Morgan. 21-13 the score. Jordan Kendrick with the dribble.
Little different setup defensively here. Flash Morgan just in a flat-out face guard deny of Marlon Hargis.
Morgan staying right with Hargis as the Hermits swing the ball to the left corner.
Well, not a lot of offense on the floor for the Hermits. That's a foul or a walk.
Either one. We'll take either. But they let it play, and the ball now belongs to the Vikings. Quickly up court is Derry, and we get a foul.
Well, that one's going to go back to whoever you're rooting for here, but that was either a foul or a walk. This one was definitely a foul on Kendrick, and unfortunately that's going to be his second. So foul's starting to play a major part here as we move along in this game. Still plenty of time here in the second quarter.
A 1-and-1 coming up for Nazim Derry. Missing the first one, rebounded nicely by Hargis.
Good box out.
Quickly up court, the ball goes out of bounds. A turnover against the Hermits.
Yeah, Vanderslice had the pass ahead to Stoley, just couldn't catch up with, and that's a bad turnover for the Hermits.
5.5 minutes left in the second period. Driving, dishing out. Morgan has the ball go off a teammate's hand, so it will belong to St. Augustine.
Well, if you had 5:30 in the second quarter for the tie coming off, you've just won the pool, because Coach Rodeo has ripped the tie off, as he wasn't happy with that last turnover.
Travis Stoll gives it to Marlon Hargis. Again, he's being eyed by Nazir Morgan. Vanderslice tees up the long-range three off the front rim, and the rebound again cleared, as he's done many times already. Ray Bethea dribbles through the traffic, trying to get the shot up, and he is fouled by Delaney.
That's going to be number 3 on Matt Delaney.
And that is a tough situation now. 3 fouls here in the first half.
Solomon's going to come back with his 2 fouls. Let's see the play here. Nice move by Bethea here. Loses the handle, and then as he goes up the second time.
Ooh, that's like all ball.
Got the ball and then a piece of the shoulder, but...
Yeah. Bethea does not convert on the first opportunity.
And I'm watching Solomon come in and out of the game. He looks okay. We said he's battling a little bit of a cold or flu, but he looks like he's okay. And the Hermits are going to need him now for this last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Delaney picking up his third. Solomon, of course, has 2 himself. Jordan Kendrick with 2 fouls as well. On the opposite bench, 2 fouls for Nazim Derry and 2 for Zion Teague. Those are the 2 people with the foul situation for Atlantic City.
Well, Fred, you mentioned earlier about the runs, and you're going to have runs in every game here. You saw the Hermits have one at the end of that first quarter, the second half of that first quarter. This is a critical time right here now for the Hermits as they come back out here. A little bit of foul trouble, a little bit of fatigue. Although I'm watching the same thing off the Atlantic City side. They're not exactly bouncing back out onto the floor either. So a little bit of run here, see who can make something happen.
5:01 left in this second quarter. 21-13. The Hermits have the advantage. Second shot is good. So 1 for 2 trip and a 21-14 score favoring St. Augustine.
And no more pressure again. No Kendrick in the game. Others are going to have to handle the ball. And this one's Vanderslice.
Cole Vanderslice sets up Marlon Hargis. Travis Stoll, closely guarded by Nazim Derry. Vanderslice looks for a cutting Hargis, now pulls it back out. Travis Stoll gets it back to Vanderslice. The exchange with Foreman. Puts up a tough shot. It's going to be airballing, and the ball is momentarily lost, and it's going to go off Atlantic City at the end of the play.
Once again, the Hermits are catching the advantage of just sloppy play from Atlantic City.
Yep, off the knee last.
Yeah, went off of Montague out of bounds. Got to make them pay for mistakes like that.
Travis Stoll will inbound it for the Hermits. Coming to get the basketball. It's off the foot, so it will be done all over again.
If I'm Coach Rodeo here, set play for Marlon Hargis. Let's get the ball into your best player's hands. There it is on the inbound.
Turnaround jumper. He's fouled on the way up. Morgan doesn't quite agree with that.
Well, we'll get a second look here. I mean, he's straight up and down, but his hands comes down. You see it come down there. So many players will do that. They'll tell the official arms are straight up, but on the shot, you bring the hand down and cause the contact.
So Hargis will try to earn 2 points at the free throw line. There's one. And suddenly that lead is now up around 8, maybe 9 after this shot.
Hermits now 5 for 5 from the line, earning them when they need to right there. Little pressure again. Kevin Foreman up at the top of this press.
Morgan sends it across to Derry. Nice read by Foreman and a basket. I just had to watch to see if Foreman would finish that. Great read. The lead is now 11.
Hermit's on a little run here. Crowd getting into it. Vikings back on their heels a little.
They send it out to Morgan, looks for the three and nails it.
Oh, that can stop a run right there.
It sure can.
Confident from Flash Morgan there for the three.
25-17. 3.5 minutes left in the game, left in the second quarter. And now a turnover by the Hermits.
Another substitution for the Hermits. Oda's going to come in, so Solomon out. Little smaller lineup. Hermits can do this without Teague in the game. They can go a little bit smaller, a little quicker.
Ball in the hands of Nazim Derry. Gets it back to Ray Bethea. Bethea looking over the situation, decides to go for the three and nails it.
And back-to-back threes for the Vikings. This one from Bethea.
Stole, great pass underneath, but Oda will pull it back out. They swing it around once again. Otis hands off to Stoll. Hargis back for an open look. Off the rim. Battle for the rebound is going to be won by Vanderslice. And the Hermits reset everything. Foreman pulls it back out. Switches with Oda. Oda looks to drive through. Fouled on the way up.
Well, Oda just put his head down there. He was going to get to the basket. Once again, gets the foul. This one's going to be, looks like it's going to be on Kai Dixon here.
So a chance for two from the line.
The back-to-back threes, though, from Atlantic City can just such a momentum turn. And there's a miss. First one from the line by the Hermits. Atlantic City going a little smaller again now as they sub Flash Morgan back in.
Makes the second one.
Zone press over the top.
Driving quickly off the rim and goes in.
Nazim Derry gets behind the defense that time. Hermits cheating too far up on the half-court spot.
The lead is 4. 20 just pulls the ball out. Foreman spinning, moving, giving it off to Vanderslice. Cole takes the shot and gets it to go.
Good little floater from Cole Vanderslice. Over the top again. That's 3 times Ray Bethea has gone over the top, and 3 times it's been a turnover there.
Can't be doing that. Cannot turn over the ball that way.
Well, it worked the time before they go over the top, but that time just, again, too far.
Hargis does bring it into the front court. Under 2 minutes left before halftime. Vanderslice. Nice move by Hargis. Doesn't get it to go. Rebound is tipped by Atlantic City. Saved by Foreman for that shot. Again, a great battle for the ball. This time it is won. Oh, what a play! It's up and no good, but what an effort by Foreman to get the ball back.
Well, you do this for so long, Coach Rodeo, for 41 years. A little bit of a hunch to go with Kevin Foreman tonight, and that young sophomore is rewarding him for that because he is playing a heck of a ball game. All the scrap, all the hustle. Gets another possession for the Hermits there. Hargis going to try to earn something here at the line.
Off the back rim.
A well-deserved break here for Foreman.
So Hargis looking to make one here. That one crawls in. You'll take it any way you can get it.
Again, the pressure from the Hermits. You see if Atlantic City goes right to the middle this time.
Morgan dishes to the right side where Ramon Rodriguez has it. Ray Bethea tightly guarded by Oda. Bethea puts up a 3, in and out. Good rebound underneath by Montague. Shot put up and bounces out. Another rebound by Rodriguez, and he's fouled.
We said it before the game. Key number 1 is the boards. Atlantic City now, the shot's not falling, but you see them working hard on the glass. That's just about getting 5 guys, getting a body on someone, and getting a little tougher inside.
So Rodriguez will get 2 shots at the line. The Rowdies trying to distract, but Rodriguez has no
Foreman going to come back in for Oda.
Looking to make it a 2-for-2 trip. Misses that one, and Allen clears the rebound. 29-23, a 6-point game as we approach the final minute of the first half. Vanderslice. Travis Stoll with the dribble.
Let's see if the Hermits have a full minute of holding the ball in them. They may look to do that. Possession will be to the Hermits to start the third quarter. This is a long way to go to hold the ball, though.
Chris Allen directing some traffic. Dishes it to Vanderslice. They're just going to play catch on the perimeter for the time being as we approach 30 seconds left. Stoll deciding to go for it, and he gets it to go.
Well, if they're not going to play you there, you're going to take that, and Travis Stoll knew he had it, makes the lane to the basket. Big, strong left hand from Travis Stoll.
Morgan goes across the court again, another long pass, and another result of a turnover.
I'm hoping Tom Brady looks like this on Sunday with some of these incomplete passes. Watch this pass across the way from Flash Morgan up into the stands.
It's not that it's a bad idea, just the delivery's a little bit too high.
They're all good ideas. The guys are open. You have to connect. Jordan Kendrick back in. 15 seconds left. It's going to go to Marlon Hargis, though.
So they got the basket in the previous possession and wind up with one more possession before the half. Final 5 seconds. Stoll gives it to Hargis. Tees up the 3. Electricity through the air.
And not exactly the way you drew it up, but Marlon Hargis got it back, looked it over, knocked down the 3. Big time shot. Let's watch it here. Stoll to Hargis, senior to senior, and down it goes.
Lovely splash down to end the half, and it's an 11-point advantage for the home team. So halfway through the rematch, St. Augustine getting the revenge they want for the early season loss at Atlantic City. It's the Hermits 34, the Vikings 23. We're going to take a timeout real quick, catch our breaths. Once again, our game brought to you by Toyota Vineland. We'll be right back. Well, so far this one is not disappointing at all. The two teams are battling very well, but so far the turnovers for Atlantic City and the sharp shooting for St. Augustine are the difference in this game. The 11-point lead at halftime, mainly due to the fact that Marlon Hargis has had the kind of game that we were hoping that he would have, Dave Catalani. He's come out with 16 here in the first half.
Not exactly shooting the high percentage. He's 4 for 12. But he is being aggressive where he needs to be. You know, these younger guys, other guys that haven't been through games like this, they're going to look to Marlon Hargis. He's been through the battles, not only here at St. Augustine, plays a difficult AAU schedule in the offseason, so he's going to be a big-time player. He's not fazed by a missed shot. You saw that at the end. The play didn't work the way it needed to. Not fazed at all. Catches the pass from Stoll, hits the three. He's earning them at the line. He's rebounding the ball. He's what St. Augustine needs, and he's a big reason why they're up 34-23.
Now, of course, on the other side, Gene Allen's probably looking at his squad right now at halftime saying, this isn't a football game. All right, stop making these long passes because they're just not working very well. They're open looks, but they're not completing them.
18 turnovers for Atlantic City. I mean, nobody's winning games with that type of a turnover. Only 6 for St. Augustine on the other side. And like I was saying, many of the turnovers, I would say they're almost unforced. St. Augustine's pressuring. That's the idea of that press. It sits back a little. It wants you to maybe throw a pass that you think is open, and it really isn't. But 18 turnovers is just a huge number for Atlantic City, and Gene Allen cannot be happy about that at all.
And, of course, the rebound totals I was seeing that you had up there, Atlantic City's doing the job on the boards as we expected them to do. They've out-rebounded the Hermits 18-10, so that has stood to form, so to speak.
Yeah, and St. Augustine, little foul trouble with Solomon in foul trouble, and like we said, maybe a little under the weather, but also Delaney came into the game. He picked up a couple of fouls. But St. Augustine's doing a decent job, has to do better. And I can't say too much more about the way Kevin Foreman has played. Maybe it doesn't show up so much on the stat sheet. I mean, he's got 5 points, which may be a little bit unexpected, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, but at least 5 hustle plays out on the floor.
And those are the little things. You talk about the little things that go unnoticed on the stat sheet, but the play he made towards the end of the first half where he got to the ground, kept the ball alive, and the possession went to St. Augustine, helped them get to some more offensive attack on the floor.
People love to talk about the little things. Little things are good. They're never little things to a head coach, I can tell you that. And so I talked, Coach Rodeo, been playing a little bit with that 5th starter, and tonight it was Kevin Foreman. Kevin has responded so far, but he has used Vanderslice, who hit a big 3, and he, of course, uses Oda. Defensively has done a good job. And, Paul Rodeo couldn't ask for much more than this, I don't think. A 34-point half, and again, turning Atlantic City over as much as they did.
And they've done a good job of getting double-digit leads in this, especially in that second quarter. The 3-point shot is the difference to make it an 11-point game. But, again, not the way they drew it up, but a good awareness to know that they had to get the shot up when they did because there was going to be an expiring clock otherwise. So, again, a heady play by Hargis to at least take the shot. The bonus is that it went through the basket. Second half now, of course, coming up, and you just, as far as St. Augustine's concerned, I guess you want to keep doing this. The pressure that you're applying on defense and going to the attack. Toyota Vinyl, of course, bringing you this ball game tonight, and we're glad that they're doing that. As St. Augustine approaches the second half, you basically want to keep the game flowing as it's flowing now.
Well, I would keep the pressure on Atlantic City, and I don't just mean defensive pressure. I mean offensive pressure of pushing the ball down the floor, getting it to, I keep saying, Marlon Hargis. You sprinkle a little in there with Travis Stoll, got a bucket there late. Hopefully Charles Solomon's ready to go here in the second half. And that same game plan, and obviously if you can get Atlantic City to turn it over 18 more times, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Put the pressure on, create some turnovers. That is a big key of the game for St. Augustine. We've seen them do it to just about every team they play. Now, Atlantic City does the same kind of thing, but we haven't seen them force too many turnovers tonight.
No, haven't been forcing the turnovers. The way they pressure the ball, it's a little different. It's straight up man-to-man on the ball, but sometimes you can use a different ball handler. For example, Ray Bethea is a very good defender, but he's not the aggressive, pesky on-the-ball guy, so that's why you saw Marlon Hargis handle the ball a little bit more. Jordan Kendrick did an okay job in that first half when he was out there handling the press, but as Coach said before the game, it's once you beat the press, what you do with it is almost more important than just handling the pressure itself. Offensively,
do you like the way the setups are coming? St. Augustine doing a good job of finding people cutting the basket. Hargis has made his presence known when he's had to. The offensive flow, what have you thought about St. Augustine's
flow? A good
flow?
Mix for St. Augustine of the flow, the press, the pushing the ball down the floor, the break, and also set plays. When it's time, you'll Coach Rodeo call a set play out. Normally it's going to go to Marlon Hargis, so they'll run a set play, or they love to run that open set, because what that does is it spreads the floor a little bit, and it makes you commit to playing defense for more than just one pass. It makes you play defense long enough that eventually you'll get a cutter that's coming through.
So far on the scoreboard for Atlantic City, they're led by 2 players. Nazim Derry has 5 points, and Flash Morgan, otherwise known as Nazir Morgan, has 5 as well. 4 points for Ray Bethea. He's been a force underneath the basket as we expected. He's got a few rebounds to his credit. 4 points for Zion Teague, and 4 points for Zaire Montague. The other point by Ramon Rodriguez on a 1-for-2 effort from the free throw line. On the St. Augustine side, the man that they need to do the good scoring has done so, forcing the issue underneath and getting to the basket. Is 5 for 6 from the free throw line, has 3 3-pointers and a total of 16 points to lead the way for St. Augustine. Travis Stoll, 7 points so far in the night. Cole Vanderslice has chipped in 6 points. And Kevin Foreman, not only is he playing great defense and making the little things happen on the court, he has contributed 5 points with a 3-point basket and a basket in the second quarter. So good balance throughout the lineup for St. Augustine as well.
And 2 veteran coaches, 2 of the best in South Jersey here. So you know they've got their game plan that they've come out with here in the second half. You're going to see this first couple minutes. We always talk about it. You got a lead right now of 34-23 for St. Augustine. Does that lead go to 16 and Gene Allen's calling the timeout, or does that lead go down to 6 and Paul Rodeo's calling that timeout?
Well, St. Augustine does have the opening possession with that 11-point lead. The one thing that you know they want to do is get a good look at the basket. If there's a clean 3, they don't hesitate to take it, whether it's Stoll, whether it's Hargis, or whether it's Foreman. Anybody takes that 3-point shot, and a good amount of times they find the bottom of the basket doing so. So they'll run their offense, get a good clean shot, whether it's down low or outside. The first possession, a basket here, would set the tone for the entire third quarter.
Yep. And look for a set play. Again, I'm going to always predict that it's going to be to Marlon. Try to run something inside to him right away. He's done such a good job of getting fouled and earning them from the line. And it also sets up St. Augustine's press. You can set up the press off of the made foul shot much easier, certainly, than on a missed shot, but even on a made field goal. So St. Augustine going to come out. Looks like Solomon's going to start. Again, he's got the 2 fouls. Jordan Kendrick has 2 fouls, but they got the ball first, and they're going with their starting 5.
Tonight's game brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. Glad to have them aboard with us as we present the second half of high school basketball. St. Augustine versus Atlantic City, an 11-point lead to start the second half for the hometown Hermits. And right away, the ball does come into the hands of Hargis, who gets it across to Jordan Kendrick. Travis Stoll, nicely down low. Do we have a blocking foul? We have a charge.
No, I will see it here. I don't like that call at all, because I don't think Marlon had a chance to come down with the basketball. You need to at least have a step to be able to come down with the ball. I don't think he had it, but I'm also wearing blue and white, or at least St. Augustine blue and white right now.
Yeah, both colors are pretty much the same. The blue and white go both ways tonight. So Atlantic City looking to cut into an 11-point advantage with their first possession of the second half. Ray Bethea gets it across to the front court. Looks like a mismatch with Kendrick guarding him, doesn't it?
Little matchup zone from St. Augustine here, and it's
Derry puts it into the hands of Teague. Rodriguez passing the post underneath. Bethea working for some space. Good effort by Ray Bethea.
Big tough shot there inside by Bethea.
So it's now 34-25. Stoll gets it across to Kendrick. Kendrick directing a little traffic, gets a screen from Hargis, and now just pulls it out for a little bit. Kevin Foreman. Solomon looking to drive. Whistle on the way in.
That's going to
be on Teague. Yeah,
another one on Teague. That's going to be his third. Nice job by Solomon, going to his strong left hand there.
So they
Gene
are going to
Allen.
give Solomon 2 shots.
Gene Allen is not going to the bench. He's going to stick with Teague right now. Oh. Missed that short. That could be a little that fatigue for Solomon. We've seen him all year. He's a good foul shooter.
Charles looking to make it at least a 1-for-2 trip, and he does skim that one through.
Okay, and pressure again from St. Augustine. You see the pesky pressure of
Atlantic City has the ball in the front court in the hands of Nazim Derry. Little jumper way off the mark, and the rebound comes down to Solomon, and now we get a jump ball called. So the Vikings will still have possession as a result of the possession arrow.
Inbound, Atlantic City going to inbound the ball here. Substitution for St. Augustine. Oda back in.
Ramon Rodriguez looking to drive. Dishes to the left side. Derry underneath. Teague with a reverse shot, and it goes.
Tough move inside by Teague there.
35-27. The lead is 8. Oda with the basketball. Foreman cuts through the middle. Kendrick along the left side. Oh, that looked like a double dribble there.
Yeah. They're calling the deflection. So
okay.
St. Augustine being patient, but there's a difference between being patient and knowing where you want to go with the ball. Right now, I think they're confused as what they want to run.
That's why Oda's going to pull the ball out and let Coach Rodeo say.
And sometimes it's just about the matchup. This is a tough matchup for Teague against Oda, and they're going to pull him out and let Oda take him to the basket.
And Oda's going to make that dish outside. Foreman gives it up. Hargis blocked off by Rodriguez.
Nice job by Rodriguez to stop the penetration. Same thing again. Oda going to look to go. There he goes.
Gets through, dishes it back out for an open three. Swish!
Nice job by Nakem Oda, finding his shooter there, Jordan Kendrick, for the three.
A clutch three-point shot, and it's 38-27. The lead is back to 11. Nice pass to the post. Teague with the move. A good rebound underneath by Morgan.
The weak side rebound there. It was needed a box out from one of the guards. Didn't get it, and Atlantic City follows it up.
4:45 left in period 3, 38-29. St. Augustine with the advantage.
Coach Rodeo going to go to the well one more time with this matchup. And you see Gene Allen right away going to his bench. He doesn't want to see that one anymore.
Oda still dribbling outside. Along the right side to Stoll, and return feed to Oda. Nakem looking for that room, goes to the basket. It's rejected strongly by Nazir Morgan.
Yeah, nice job there. You see Oda makes the move to the basket here, but great weak side help.
So the ball will be inbounded by Jordan Kendrick. Left side. They swing it around as Stoll looks for the inside pass. They pull it back down, looks to drive. Off the glass, doesn't get a kind roll on the rebound, and Montague gets it, sends away Atlantic City. Right through the lane, doesn't go. Rebound loose, taken by Foreman the other way. And Kendrick will pull it out.
Thought maybe he had a chance there to Hargis inside on the block, but smarter move there by Kendrick to pull it back out.
Foreman with a stop, pop short. Rebound by Bethea. Quickly up court, the Vikings looking to strike. Pass to Morgan, off the glass, no good. The rebound goes off of St. Augustine, out of bounds.
Watch this replay here. It looks like Foreman's going up, and Foreman knocks it out of bounds, trying to battle with the big boys inside.
Ball's outside in the hands of Zaire Montague. Now Ray Bethea puts the shot up, a tough shot off the back rim. Bethea hustles towards the rebound to reset the Atlantic City offense. Takes an open shot and hits it for two.
Yeah, that's one of those big-time players there. That young man going to be playing at Howard next year. Big step-back jump shot from Ray Bethea.
38-31 now the score. From three, in and out. Good rebound by Kendrick. The little man pulls away with it and decides to take it to the hole, and he gets it to go.
Jordan Kendrick earning it himself there off the rebound and then going to the glass, laying it up soft off the board.
The lead is 9 with 2:45 left in period 3. Solomon with some defense. The steal. Quick pass to Hargis. Reverse layup is good on a three-point play possibility.
Yeah, that's a big run back the other way. Charles Solomon, he does look like he's laboring a little, but watch this. He makes the play, gathers it back in, and then finds a running, cutting Marlon Hargis for the hoop and the harm.
So a three-point play possibility on the hustle by Solomon. Hargis will shoot the shot.
Good things happen when you run the floor. Marlon Hargis did that just then.
And he gets a kind roll.
Gets the three-point play. And
the lead is now 12. I believe that's the highest lead so far. We've had a couple of 11-point leads. Now it's a 12 for St. Augustine. From the corner, Montague.
Oda all over Bethea.
And almost a strip by Stoll. Three-point shot off the rim. High rebound, Oda battling for it. It comes down to Hargis. Unfortunately, can't corral it. It goes out of bounds.
And that's one of those ones he's trying to dribble and make the play at the same time. Grab that one and then make the move the other way. Solomon back for Delaney. Looks like they're giving him short breaks.
2:10 left in the third quarter. 43-31 the advantage for the Hermits. Bethea looking to make something happen, and he will be drawing a foul.
Oda working hard here, but gets a little aggressive, and that's a heady player there, played by a senior player there. He leans in on that, but they're calling it on the floor. Gene Allen's got to be thinking that's a shooting shot. I thought he was on his way up. They're going to call it on the floor. And an offensive foul. Let's see if we can see this. Maybe if we get a replay, we can see what happens. Looks like Ray Bethea Jr. just pushing his way through. Nice little acting job there maybe as well, but looks like Bethea got the push.
Looked like he pushed him a couple times, as though the second push probably got him.
And all for naught as St. Augustine now has turned it over. It's the fourth turnover of this third quarter for St. Augustine.
Dipping under 2 minutes left in the third quarter, a 12-point advantage for the home team, 43-31. Spin move, shot off the glass too long. Good rebound underneath by Zaire Montague.
Yeah, that's just a weak side rebound. That's unexcusable not to have that box out. Solomon.
Kendrick with the dribble. Passes it up to Solomon. Solomon looking for some space. Off the glass and in!
Well, Charles looking a little fresher there. He's going to take the ball to the hole. Knows that Teague has fouls.
Outside Montague. Almost a strip. Nice pass to Bethea underneath. He's going to draw the foul and make the shot.
Well, I've been talking all along about a big-time player like Marlon Hargis coming to play in a game like this. Ray Bethea Jr. is one of the best in South Jersey. I said he is going to Howard University next year to play ball. And he's been a staple in this Atlantic City program for the last few years.
So a chance to finish a three-point play. Bethea at the free throw line. Off the rim and rebounded by Kevin Foreman. 45-35. The lead is 10. Going right to the hole again. Another strong move by the little guy.
Yeah, Jordan Kendrick's just going to say he's going to beat his man, and when he gets there, he's finished now twice.
So some power moves, and he's got 7 points in this quarter. Now a three-point shot, zips it home. So Bethea showing some range. 47-38 the score. And a lost ball out of bounds. It'll belong to the Vikings.
There's pressure there, but that's not the kind of pressure that you. That's just a sloppy pass between two guys there that, just not communicating well enough. Get the ball to Jordan Kendrick there and let him break the press.
So the turnover puts the ball back in the hands of Bethea. Going right to the hole and slamming it home, Nazir Morgan. Quickly up court, Hargis pulls it back out momentarily. Kendrick dishing nicely at Delaney with the easy lay-in.
And Jordan Kendrick making it happen here in the third quarter for St. Augustine on the offensive side.
Last shot coming up here, 2 seconds, one. Shot is up, it'll count if it goes. It does not, but a strong finish by the Hermits, even though Atlantic City got a 5-point run there. A nice lead, give and go by the Kendrick and Delaney connection to create a 49-40 score here at the end of 3 quarters. Oh, time to catch the breath.
Strong finish there by St. Augustine, but a really strong finish there in that quarter by Jordan Kendrick. He's been handling this pressure and not being able to get to the basket. Sometimes people talk about the smaller players taking the ball into the trees there and what they can do inside. You're talking about a guy that's been playing that way his whole life. He's probably been the smallest guy on the floor every time he steps on the court. So he knows, use his body. He knows how to get that shot up. And that's a big-time third quarter for Jordan Kendrick.
7 points in the quarter, and that great assist to Delaney for the last basket as well. So he certainly has made his impact in period 3 to give St. Augustine a 9-point advantage. Tonight's game brought to you again by Toyota of Vineland. They've been doing this for a few years now, and we enjoy doing the games for you, and it's because of people like Toyota of Vineland that we are able to do so.
So the Hermit lead shrunk by 2 points there in the quarter. 11 at the third goes to 11 at the half, goes to 9 here at the end of 3. These are two heavyweights. They're going to take counter punches back and forth, so you're going to see this right down to the end.
The Hermits with possession, a chance to increase their 9-point advantage. Hargis and Solomon play catch along the left side. Kevin Foreman hands off to Kendrick. He hasn't shied away from driving. This time he decides to pull it back out.
But look at the pressure. Deary right up on top of him.
Ooh. Now they call a foul on Morgan.
Now they called a kick ball. Looks like as Morgan got the foot out, got the hand in the foot, got right up the foot, so kicked ball.
So the Hermits still with possession.
Atlantic City turning up the pressure. Full deny all the way out to the half-court line. But this is what we said. If you run the spread set, make them play defense for more than just one sequence.
Hargis taking it right to the hole against Bethea and winning it.
Yeah, those guys have had some battles over the last 2-3 years. Hargis got the better of Bethea on that one.
51-40. The lead back into double digits at 11. Bethea dishes it back out. Morgan looking for some operating space. Whistle before the pass.
It's like Foreman got him on the arm as he was making the pass. You see it here. Flash Morgan with the drive for Foreman, rake across the arm.
First foul against Foreman. Both teams with some fouls to give. That's only the 4th foul on St. Augustine. Atlantic City has 3. And they don't get the 3 there. Bethea with the rebound. Turnaround shot. Gets it to go.
Second chance points. Killing the Hermits right about now.
51-42. Bethea now with 15 points on the night. Kendrick dishing. Open look. Shot from the corner. In and out. Rebounded by Zaire Montague.
Maybe a little quick for what Paul Rodeo would want there, but Foreman was open. Little push off there.
Shot is missed.
Geary.
Tipped into the back court.
Oh, what a
hustle by Hargis. Unfortunately, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure whose foot it went off of. They're going to call it Atlantic City.
Well, it's tough because the official couldn't get there quick enough either, so he made the call the way he thought it was going to be.
I'm guessing it went off Hargis, but let's see. He had the inside track. Yeah, it went off Hargis. St. Augustine with the basketball still. Approaching 6 minutes left in regulation, a 51-42 advantage for the Hermits. 6 minutes left. Spin move by Solomon.
No need for that. Had Stoll right there. Just run the spread set. You're going to eventually get the shot you want.
Kendrick behind the back dribble, double teamed. Gets it to Stoll.
Same thing there. No need for that. Run it through. Make them play defense.
Hargis looking for some space.
That's a lot of contact. There is the call.
Boy, that would have been amazing had that one dropped through the hole.
I thought he got hit on the first move. I thought there's maybe a push there. There's definitely one there. I believe that's going to be 3 on Morgan.
Marlon Hargis for 2 at the 5:34 mark. The first one splashes through.
Gets this again. If he can get the shot here, gives a chance to set up pressure. Give Marlon a chance to catch his breath here. Same thing with Solomon in the game.
2 very fine shots.
8 and 9 now from the line for Marlon Hargis.
Driving, blocking foul against St. Augustine.
Yeah, Solomon just didn't get there. He was trying to slide there, just doesn't get there quick enough. You got to be pretty quick to get in front of Nasir Morgan, I can tell you that.
And that's 4 on Solomon. Derry for short and rebounded, taken by Hargis, poked from behind, but he maintains it, finds Stoll breaking, doesn't get the basket, but he will go to the foul line.
Travis Stoll, I think he was halfway between maybe trying to go up and dunk it there. Good foul by Bethea there, goes up strong for the block. Travis Stoll. Officials over checking just to make sure they had the foul right. That's going to be on Bethea. That should be the 4th on Bethea, and it is.
It is. 2 shots for Stoll. Just like his teammate Hargis, he splashes the first one.
Delaney going to come back for Solomon. Trying to keep him fresh, and again, Solomon with fouls there. Delaney with 3, picked up early. Ooh, and a miss on the second.
Quickly up court, Morgan, slam!
Yeah, there was no chance of stopping that when Morgan had a little bit of a lead.
Oh, and now bodies tumbling as Kendrick brings it across the timeline. Morgan sneaking from behind, doesn't get the steal.
Back out, run your set now. You beat the pressure, go back to the set you want.
Kendrick is tripped up. Oh, he traveled. Wow.
Well, I couldn't tell for sure if there was a trip here, and I also really don't believe that he walked. I mean, he gives up, the ball comes out of his hands. That's not a travel, and it was probably a trip. Not sure how that's a walk, but Atlantic City with the ball.
Right up court, doesn't get it to go, but some foul shots coming up as Delaney is now guilty of his 4th. So a few players with 4 fouls, 2 of them are sitting on St. Augustine's bench. Solomon and Delaney have 4, and we mentioned Bethea now has 4.
Flash Morgan starting to make his way to the basket. Incredible athlete. And he's been able to get to the basket these last couple times. 11 points. That might be 12 for him now.
Morgan trying to make a 2-for-2 trip on this effort. He's short. Bethea taps the rebound. They swing it back out to Derry. Bethea tries to tray and connects on 3.
That's a huge possession there. It's a 4-point possession and a timeout by Coach Paul Rodeo, St. Augustine.
A 6-point run as a result of the slam and the foul shot by Morgan, and now the 3-point shot from Bethea. And the lead is now just 6, 54-48.
Coach
So
Rodeo,
Atlantic City's not going anywhere.
you knew that they weren't going to go anywhere, but it's just, you just think of something small like a box out on a foul shot, and that box out turns into a 3-pointer from Ray Bethea. So St. Augustine has to answer. It's a counter punch. You knew that Atlantic City was going to. St. Augustine has to answer back.
Of course, a very good timeout as Coach Rodeo wants to make sure he gets a score out of this next possession.
Well, he got a chance not only to call that timeout in the official's ear, but also get into his ear about that walk call that he did not believe was a walk call, and he's still on Frank Basile about that call.
Yeah, I agree with you. It looked a little more like he got tripped rather than he walked.
We could show him the video after if he'd like.
Yeah. So all said and done, we have the Hermits with possession. 4:35 left in the fourth quarter. Hargis is double teamed. The ball comes free.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That is
that's
not the way you draw that up.
Interesting awareness by Stoll to know that Kendrick was over there. Vanderslice gets the ball over the top to Kendrick.
Atlantic City coming out very aggressive. Use their aggressiveness against them. That's all you can do. That if they're going to be that aggressive, go back door, run something that way, or just take the ball to the basket there. Atlantic City coach Gene Allen does not like something about the defense, and he calls a full timeout.
4:10 showing on the fourth quarter clock, a 54-48 game. Tonight's game brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. We go right there deep into the huddle there. As Toyota of Vineland, always a pleasure to have them with us. Fred Melendez along with Dave Catalano. And every bit the game we expected. It's a tight game still, right? About 4 minutes left.
Yeah, Leakson. St. Augustine, I could think maybe go smaller here. They're going back with Solomon's going back here, but you could go smaller if you're going to spread the floor a little bit. Extra ball handler in. He's got Vanderslice in, Foreman, and Kendrick, who's been obviously the primary ball handler there. Just got to keep your head. Got to keep your head in this against this pressure. And like I said, use it against Atlantic City. If they're going to overplay like that, a backdoor cut every now and then.
They have the guys that do that all the time. Hargis, of course, is a good cutter to the basket. And we'll see if they design something to go to Hargis here. As he's had his fine night. He's got 23 points on the night so far. Halfway through the fourth quarter.
Got to go to your bag of tricks here. Set play here. Got to go to something coming out of this timeout. Need a bucket.
Travis Stoll will inbound the ball. Kendrick gets it across the timeline against his number 3 counterpart, Nazim Derry. Dishing it out to Stoll. They circulate around the perimeter. Vanderslice spins it back. The ball is batted and taken by Bethea. Sends away Morgan. The spin move. The reverse lay-in.
What a move.
That is a highlight reel shot by Morgan. A steal. And now Bethea doesn't get it to go. Ball out of bounds. It's off of who? I didn't see. Is that still Atlantic City ball?
It is still Atlantic City ball. St. Augustine going to bring Kevin Foreman back in. Watch the play by Atlantic City. Almost gets the tip to go back in.
A 4-point game. The shot doesn't go. St. Augustine with the basketball.
Time for some cooler heads to step up for St. Augustine here. You got to handle the pressure. Got to go to the foul line. Make some foul shots here. Does Travis Stoll, the senior. you battle in the whole game, and then just little mental mistakes. Atlantic City double teaming and pressing all over the place. Bring the ball back down to the baseline. Take it out away from the half-court line where all the pressure is. Get the ball to the middle of the floor. Flash someone to the foul line. You have to beat that double team. If they're going to pressure like that, you have to make them pay.
Bonus shot coming up for Stoll, and he is true. 2 for 2. 56-50 the score. St. Augustine by 6. Morgan hands it off to Bethea. He hits another three.
Right, and Bethea's feeling it there. He gets it up over the shorter defender.
And now the pressure. Good job by Kendrick to break it momentarily. Gets it to Stoll. And the Hermits will try to work some offense here. Stoll.
Reverse it to the other side. Use the high post. Get it to the other side of the floor.
Foreman to Hargis. Driving. The dunk!
And that's what you needed right there. Marlon Hargis. Big move on the baseline. Goes up with the dunk.
The lead is 5 again. 58-53. This time it's Morgan, short on the shot, gets his own rebound, it's long on the shot, and there's a fine rebound by Montague to put it back up and in. With 2:39 to go here in the fourth quarter, it is now 58-55. Buckle your seatbelts, because I think we're in for quite a ride to the finish.
We are, as Mark Zumoff says, we're coming in for a landing.
Mm-hmm. Very much a ball game still, as both teams now battling to go to the boards hard. We saw the dunk by Hargis. Atlantic City responding with some good ball movement and shot near the basket.
Well, the thing that you knew was going to happen is two heavyweight teams, two heavyweight players. Bethea with 21 for Atlantic City. Hargis with 25 for St. Augustine.
Well, the big guys are not disappointing in the slightest.
The big guys are doing their part, and then all the rest of the players are all making that play that you need to keep this, the steals from the Atlantic City side. And the St. Augustine side, you got to come back. Travis Stoll making 2 foul shots there. What they really have to do, St. Augustine, is get back on the glass. The offensive boards for Atlantic City the last couple of trips.
They've been pounding the boards very hard, especially on the offensive side. A nice pass. Hargis looking to go the distance.
Oh, that's intentional.
Yeah,
they're going to call it that way, as I don't think there was a play on the ball there by number 12, I believe. Let's see if we get another look. Gene Allen doesn't believe it, but we could see it on the I mean, there's no play on the ball there.
He's basically grabbing him.
Yeah, that's just a sort of a elbow. Okay, I don't think Gene Allen's mad at the official. I think he's mad at his player. So it's 2 in the ball here for St. Augustine. Gutsy play by Travis Stoll to throw the home run.
Well, at the very least, you guarantee that it's in the front court, and Marlon Hargis did the rest. So he makes the 2 free throws, and possession belonging to St. Augustine once more. It is 60-55. 2:36 left.
Marlon Hargis pleading with Coach Rodeo. He wants an inbound play. He wants the ball.
So the Hermits pull it out for the moment. Vanderslice had Foreman cutting along the baseline. Vanderslice dishes. No, I thought he was going to dish to Stoll, but he gives it to Foreman instead. And the Hermits continue to work their offense. Using up time here. Vanderslice double team. Ball is taken away. Atlantic City on the march. Montague doesn't get it to go.
Smart play there by Atlantic City. They switched off on who was covering Cole Vanderslice. It was Teague before, but they switched to one of the other guards. And now Zaire Montague, who's already 2 for 2 from the line, looking to cut this lead to possibly 3.
Not much touch on that one, and more line drive shot.
Oda's going to come back into the game, another ball handler. Atlantic City has subbed out Teague, so again, not the big man. Have to be tough here. Boxing out a foul shoot. It sounds so fundamental, but you got to box out here and handle this press.
60-56 the score. Approaching 2 minutes left. Stoll brings it up court. Pass to the post. Hargis with a dunk. And he's going to go for three. Now Hargis needs to be careful. He is taunting, and he's lucky nobody was watching. You'll see it on the replay, Dave. It's good to react this way. He's got the shot. Now watch. He goes right there and does a little taunting there.
Well, yeah, very lucky that he didn't get caught with that. But how about a gutsy pass from Travis Stoll? Looked like a little 3-on-2, but a gutsy pass there. And Marlon Hargis.
A three-point play.
You know, I've been saying, we talk about it, he's one of the nicest kids, but all of a sudden, little mean streak coming out of Marlon, and you need that in a game like this.
I do believe that gives him 30 points on the night, does it not? That was a three-point play, and he had 27. Shot from the side, no good. Rebound nicely by Foreman.
Oh, tough
they're going to call.
Kevin Foreman boxing out. They call a push-off. Oh, I mean, you talk your kids to battle, trying to box out, trying to foul. He's not, and I don't think he's the guy that got fouled. Bethea's not the guy that got fouled there either, and it works out for the Hermits as he misses.
So the one-on-one doesn't go. And now a whistle against Atlantic City.
And now Atlantic City better watch themselves as Flash Morgan is just fouled out. Again, this is where you got some officials with lots and lots of experience, like a Steve Young. Again, going to watch the kid maybe have a little bit of a meltdown, but not take it out of his hands, not get the technical there. So now Jordan Kendrick at the line. First trip for Kendrick to the foul line tonight. Hermits have been good, 17 for 21. Marlon Hargis has been exceptional, 11 for 12 from the line. And you're right, 30 points for Hargis. 142, huge foul shots here from Jordan Kendrick, and it's going to be a two-shot. We're in the double bonus.
Kendrick can add to a 7-point advantage with these two shots. You'll take the skim off the rim anytime.
So Morgan is fouled out.
Both shots using some rim.
Use it all.
Not the classic way to do it, but they both drop. Rodriguez, the dish underneath. Bethea trying to save it. He does save it. Puts up the shot, line drive, and it's going to go out of bounds off Atlantic City.
Well, Bethea was looking for the foul there. And Gene Allen is looking for the foul. He didn't believe that there was no call there. And that's going to be, Steve Young is about hurt enough now as he's telling him that's enough. That is not a foul there by Marlon Hargis. I mean, obviously I know Gene's in the middle of a battle here, but it looked like Bethea was just looking for the foul there, and Hargis stepped out of the way.
65-56 the score. A comfortable advantage as we approach the end of this one. Now it's just got to hold court here a little bit.
Handle the press. Don't do anything. Don't try for the long pass. Make the smart pass. Be strong with the basketball, and then walk to the foul line and make your foul shots. You're in a double bonus the rest of the way. Make your foul shots when you need to.
Tonight's game brought to you by Toyota Vineland. Glad to have you with us. Dave Catalano alongside Fred Melendez. And what do we have here?
I'm just watching the Hermits assistant coaches checking the book. 3 timeouts. Anytime you're in some kind of a jam, if you're trapped, the coaches can call too. They have 3 timeouts. Use it if you need it.
90 seconds left in this one. 65-56 advantage. Ball out of bounds off of Atlantic City, so they'll Hermits will inbound it once again.
Not sure there what happened, but they're going to call it out of bounds. Doesn't look like the Atlantic City players or fans are upset about it, so I'm going to say that was a good call.
Kendrick does a good job of breaking through. I think we're going to have a foul on number 5.
Yep, that's going to be on Joe Persiano. Slapping from behind. We'll send Kendrick back to the line. Also a chance at the foul line for the Hermits to make sure they have their 5 best defenders on the floor, which they do right now. Still a lot of time, minute 22. It's not 3-point only territory for Atlantic City, so you still have to defend the full court, defend the drive to the basket. This is probably St. Augustine's 5 best defenders on the floor right now.
So Kendrick with another 2 points from the free throw line. 3-point shot, no good. Hargis with the rebound.
Again, I'm not sure what he was looking at there, because Hargis fumbled the ball but never moved his feet. Again, not a travel.
As it is, the Vikings do get possession. Driving through, Derry doesn't get it off the rim, and Oda with the rebound.
Big rebound by Oda there, tapping it to himself. Don't dribble through the trap.
Bethea's going to take it all the way in and lay it up off the glass.
No reason for that. You have 3 men on you. There's no reason to try to dribble through the trap.
58 seconds left. The lead is now down to 9. 67-58.
Fred,
Dave, you're into this one.
I'm just going to tell you that any of the gray hairs that I do have, which there are a lot, came from finishes like this. I know Coach Rodo, that's why he's full of them. I mean, just smart with the basketball here.
Right.
You know, no reason to try to dribble through 3 guys.
Right.
If there's 3 on you, swing the ball to someone else. You have 5 ball handlers on the floor.
So we'll see how St. Augustine handles the press this time around.
And they still have 3 timeouts.
Okay. 58 seconds to go. A 9-point advantage for the home team.
Vanderslice in the game for Oda here. Foul shooter. Get the ball. There you go. Right to Marlin.
That's well done. Well executed. Now you pull the ball out.
It's an easy game, isn't it?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. From the sideline, always. We get a whistle now as Atlantic City commits a foul.
Kendrick's lucky there because the foul had not come yet. And he almost stepped out of bounds. So Jordan Kendrick. Can seal a game here from the foul line. Not with these 2, but just finish the game off strong.
Kendrick's been good from the foul line in this quarter, so for sure. Let's see if he can finish it with this shot. He's 5 for 6 from the line now in this quarter.
Got to still defend the full floor here. The carry on Bethea. Good job there by Stoll pressuring. One last possession here to St. Augustine. Can finish them with some foul shots. Timeout if you need it. That's off of Hargis. Let's forget about that he probably got fouled, but it definitely went off of Hargis.
So Atlantic City getting a benefit of the turnover.
Again, handle the ball.
Oh, what a 3. Nazim Derry with the tray.
Not done yet. 7-point game.
Persiano gets a foul. He's got fouls to give. That's only his 3rd.
And I love it. Marlin, head down, right to the foul line. He knew he got fouled, right to the line. He wants the ball, wants to add to this 30-point game.
He will get 2 shots as the double bonus in effect for St. Augustine from the line.
And if I remember the stats from the other night, he had 31 against Millville, which I believe they said was his career high.
Oh, Amazing, isn't it?
Tell me to keep my mouth shut next time.
I did it to Kendrick, and now Hargis has that happen. Ball is loose. Shot from the side, no good, and the rebound coming down to Foreman.
Hold on to it. Timeout if you need it.
Oh, there we go.
Travis going to finish it off.
We let you hear that excitement. Travis Stoll with the dunk.
And the Hermit bench can exhale now.
Rebounded by Stoll, and that's going to do it. Final 5 seconds ticket off the clock. Revenge is sweet when served at home.
Well, you don't get too many chances if you're St. Augustine to get a revenge win, and Paul Rodeo just got a big one right there.
The two teams going through the handshakes.
Well, you know that tons of respect between the programs, between the players, and really between the head coaches. Heavyweight battle, as we said, and it just was. You see the coaches hugging each other there, Gene Allen and Paul Rodeo. Big win for St. Augustine.
They made it happen throughout the first half. Atlantic City, as you would expect, came back and made it a 4-point game early on in this fourth quarter. Actually made it a 3-point game, 56-53, but the Hermits came back and got some things done. The finishing touches from the foul line. Tonight's game, as always, brought to you by Toyota of Vineland. Atlantic City won the first go-around between these two squads, 64-53, right around Christmas time on December 23rd. Here we are on the eve, 5 days away from Super Bowl 52, when the Eagles and the Patriots are going at each other.
Thank you.
And the Hermits get a well-earned victory tonight, as several people contributing. A big night for Marlon Hargis, as we mentioned, as for the second straight game, he has hit the 30-point mark. Tonight's game brought to you by Toyota of Vineland.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go to the highlights in just a minute. Give us a minute here, and we'll be right back after this. Back here at Richland, the St. Augustine Prep Hermits taking advantage of their strong play throughout the game, Dave Catalana. Fred Melendez along with you. A 71-61 victory tonight. And we said right for came through pretty well.
I would say he definitely came through, and you sort of saw him as the game was early on. He struggled a little bit with his shot, but he never lost confidence in it. He kept taking, he hit that big one right before the half, and then of course this fourth quarter that he had here, a couple of dunks, and just he came to play here when the Hermits really needed him.
And of course everybody else contributing as well. How about the job in the fourth quarter by Jordan Kendrick?
Yeah, Jordan Kendrick's his job is to run the point, to handle the ball, and with a team like Atlantic City, they are going to press you all over the court, and they did that to Jordan, and Jordan finished with a nice strong game.
Of course, in that the third quarter, he scored all 12 of his points in the second half. So you come in the second half when you need somebody else to contribute as well as Hargis. A 12-point effort in the second half alone by Kendrick.
Handled the press, made some key buckets, and then, of course, made the key foul shots when they needed down the stretch.
5 for 6 in that fourth quarter, and not a tremendous night. Of course, Charlie Solomon, you mentioned he's a little bit under the weather, so he didn't play as much as we normally see him play, and he didn't dominate the boards the way he needed to do tonight. Atlantic City, of course, as you mentioned, we're going to be key on the boards, but St. Augustine came up and got that 10-point win.
No, but even though he didn't have a dominant game, there's always a play that he made. He made that play here where he drove from the right side with his left hand, went up strong and finished. So he did make some plays where we need it. And let's talk about, again, you'll say the little things, but some of the things that Kevin Foreman did for St. Augustine, especially in that first half.
Of course, he hustled all the way out. We remember the play where he got to the ground, get low as they say, and he made the ball stay alive, and St. Augustine wound up getting the ball. But really, they did a good job of building leads once Atlantic City came back. They had the double-digit lead in the first half. Atlantic City kept making runs, but that three-pointer, as you mentioned, a big play at the end of the half, and St. Augustine just kept Atlantic City at bay, never gave them a chance to take the lead.
Well, Atlantic City, pretty uncharacteristic in that first half. Now, they had 18 turnovers in the first half, only 4 in the second half, so whatever Coach Allen said to them, did to them, told them what not to do, which was that long pass.
Right.
But I think that Hermit pressure got to them a little bit. That's the zone press that they put on. They're not up on the same as Atlantic City, that on the ball, pressuring the ball. They lay back a little, and in that case in the first half, Atlantic City made some mistakes. Credit to Gene Allen and his guys for not making those in the second half. But the Hermits had built the lead, and then every time they needed an answer, they came back with it, and normally it was Marlon Hargis that did it.
And of course, Travis Stoll had 5 points in that fourth quarter as well. Everybody contributing somewhere along the line, especially in that fourth quarter.
Hallmark of a St. Augustine team, you're going to do that. But the other hallmark is leaning on the big guys, leaning on that senior leader like they did with Marlon. And nice to see Travis Stoll with a game here in a big environment, in a big-time game against guys. Again, they all know each other so well, to come up with a couple of big plays there, especially late.
What a job they did against Morgan, Rodriguez. Of course, Bethea had a big game. Taking a look at the quick scoring here, 23 points, I believe he had. Not a surprise there. And Flash Morgan, he contributed 14. So those were the two key players that we figured Atlantic City would have. They came up with double digits, but not enough tonight for the Atlantic City Vikings.
Well, you can't ask for any more than this. I mean, great crowd. Mm-hmm. They were into it the whole time. Two legend coaches, two great, two of South Jersey's best. First of all, they're just a show in themselves watching the two of them from here, but you knew that there was going to be that kind of game. It didn't disappoint. It was the kind of thing that we've expected to see here at St. Augustine with their games. And when Atlantic City comes to town, like I said, either number 1 or number 2, whichever poll you look at in South Jersey, St. Augustine now gets back into that conversation. This team needed one of these wins to show everyone, hey, we're still pretty good. We've got 2 losses on the season. People sometimes overlook them, yet they come into this, leave this game at 14-2, locked up the number 1 seed in non-public A South, which is huge.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a minefield when you get to the playoff time, and maybe open some eyes when you start thinking about the Cal playoffs of who that number 1, number 2 team is. It was probably Atlantic City Wildwood Catholic. St. Augustine's name's going to be in the conversation.
A big effort tonight by the entire squad. Of course, Marlon Hargis, we hope to get an interview with him here.
We're hoping.
Okay. Well, let's take one more time out here if our producer, Ryan Schumacher, will give us a little time, and we'll be right back after these words. Toyota Vineland helping us bring you the St. Augustine Hermits basketball here on S&J Today on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Our star of the game, we mentioned him right from the get-go, and your star shined very brightly tonight. Coming into this game, you knew you had lost Atlantic City down there, so obviously the whole idea was to get a victory here tonight any which way you could do that.
Yeah, well, we wanted to make a statement. Like you said, we lost Atlantic City, and then we lost at Wildwood Catholic. So we wanted to change people's opinion of our team, like because people might have been saying that we're down this year. So we wanted to come out, show that we're still a good team, and make a statement.
Now, of course, we mentioned at the beginning of the show that Atlantic City very strong on the glass. Offensively, they got a lot of second opportunities. Yeah. They didn't make many of them, but your guys' approach to the rebounding in that defensive side.
Well, yeah, they got the better of us at Atlantic City on the glass. So that was one of our focuses today, to box out. We didn't do as great as we wanted to, but we came out with a win. So.
You know, you mentioned that about being that some people overlook you a little. And I have to say, even some of us that are around the program think that way. But you're 14-2.
Yeah.
So there's so many other programs that would think the 14-2 is the best season they ever had. But at St. Augustine, it's expected. You've lived through it because you've been part of probably two of the best teams that St. Augustine's had the last 2 years. Those guys go off, you're still here. How do you feel about being that guy now? You're sort of, the focus is now from maybe the scoring side of the focus being on you.
Well, I feel like it's just my turn and it's my job to step up. My freshman and sophomore year was Saeed. Last year it was Justin and Austin and me sometimes. So that was a big thing for me, like being a leadership vocally and by example. So I just had to step up this year, and I'm trying to live up to that.
Well, one of the things, and please take this as a compliment, we say you're such a nice young man, but sometimes you need a little bit of that mean streak on the floor just to get it going. You kind of had it going there a little bit after the dunk, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we had our rowdies. It was a packed gym, a lot of emotion. So it was a big dunk, so the emotion got the best of me.
Well, you guys, we talk about the schedule coming up. You go into a lot more of these showcase games now. You got a big one with Camden coming up. You have Trenton Catholic and all. How do you view those games? You've now locked up pretty much the #1 seed here in South Jersey. How do you view those sort of showcase games for you and for the team?
Well, we're trying to get on a roll. This time last year, this was the time where we picked it up getting into playoffs. And we're trying to get into a rhythm before playoffs this year, the same. So we got Eastern, we got Camden, and we just want to get rolling into the state tournament.
This is the time of the year that St. Augustine teams do that, and they normally ride on their best players back-to-back 31-point games. You look like you're ready for the challenge.
Yeah, well, like you said, I'm just trying to step up and be a leader for my team.
Well, you're doing that for sure.
Sensational night tonight. One quick question. Do you like the way that the rest of the team contributes? We had Kendrick at the foul line, Stoll in the fourth quarter. Everybody contributes on this team. They rely on you mostly, but you like the fact that everybody else gets involved.
Yeah, our team did a good job. My teammates did a great job getting me the ball, and then they also did a good job on their own. Travis had one of his better games. Charles Solomon had the flu, so he was a little out of it, but he took 3 charges, so he did a great job. And Jordan bringing the ball up against pressure did good. But it was everybody, so I feel we did a good job.
Awesome job. Great job, Marlon. Congratulations on the win. Little revenge. You don't get a chance to have revenge too much, but a nice little revenge win for you guys tonight.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Thanks for being with us, Marlon.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, Marlon made us sound pretty intelligent when we said he was the key player of the game tonight. He comes out and pours in 31 points. Our final score again, 71-61. St. Augustine coming up with a big win, a revenge win, and they split the season series with Atlantic City.
Probably get a third shot, maybe down the line.
That's right.
Here in
the
Cape
playoffs
Atlantic
coming up soon as well. I want to mention the fact that Toyota's Vineland help us bring you these broadcasts, and we truly appreciate their sponsorship because look at what we get to bring you. Great basketball action here at St. Augustine High School. Charles Hope was our cameraman tonight. Working the graphics, of course, is Joe Coffin. Ryan Schumacher, the guy that keeps us all straight around here, our producer. For Dave Catalano, yours truly, Fred Melendez. A great night of basketball here. The lead into the Super Bowl. Hopefully a St. Augustine win means an Eagles win. Can we somehow correlate that?
We're hoping. We're all hoping.
And just a quick note, my 60th birthday is Sunday, so Can they give me the best gift I could ever get, a Super Bowl championship on my 60th birthday? What do you think?
That would be big time for you. Happy birthday, buddy.
Coming up on Sunday, happy birthday to Mike Frankel. Want to wish him a happy birthday as well. Our final score tonight, 71-61. St. Augustine beats Atlantic City. We'll see you next time around here on SNJ Today Facebook Live.